Hello, and welcome to Embracing the Fight. I am Erica Lamar, your digital creator and host. And if you've been with me since January 2023, you will know that Embracing the Fight is about normalizing the conversations surrounding physical and mental health issues and concerns. And I start the conversations off with talking about my journey through thyroid cancer. Let's face it, it's never easy, to talk about anything that you're going through for the fear of being judged. That's why I started this platform. I've had many people to come on to talk about their personal struggles and to give their testimonies to help other people heal one person at a time or to let them know that you're not alone. So, if you would like to share your story, your testimony, your struggle on embracing the fight, I would absolutely love to have you. So, if you could, leave me a comment down below and I'll reach out to you, or you can send me an email to operations@diversitydesigned.com. You can also reach out to me on every social media platform at Embracing the Fight, or the only one that isn't just Embracing the Fight is Instagram, and it's Embracing the Fight underscore. I'm also now on Blue Sky, so check me out at Embracing the Fight. Now that I've gotten all the business of everything out of the way concerning Embrace and Fight, I know you can hear that I sound, a little congested. It's because I am. So the weather changed and I don't know. I kind of cold. No, my dad wasn't feeling well, and then I was around him, but everybody else, nobody else got sick or anything. So I don't know what it was. Whatever. I have been taking, my LOVEBIOME daily 3 gut system, and the cold is not as bad. It's like I hadn't had like a fever, I hadn't had chills, I hadn't had anything like that. Hadn't really been coughing. I've just been, stopped up. Now, if I had gotten some Power I and put it on top of this daily 3, I probably wouldn't even had a congestion, because what I understand with the Power I, it helps to boost your immune system. It helps your body to fight when you do come across this bad bacteria and these viruses and things that are, trying to attack you, like colds and flu and things of that nature. But I'll be ordering some soon because, it's not cold yet in Florida. It was 81 degrees, today for the high. But it did get down into the 30s, last week. And I don't know, what to expect coming January, February, but either way, I need to be ready. So I need to stock up on my Power I along with my daily 3 gut system. And if you're interested in knowing more about that, you can also send me an email to operations at Diversity Designed, or you can check out my webpage. It's ericalamar.lovebiome.com. But please ask questions before you go to make a purchase. It's very important. All right. Now that I've gotten past that as well, this is episode 97, today's choices. Something that I noticed is that I don't have a whole lot of shows that talks about, once you get out of high school, like kids, what do they do? What should they do? And how do we do what we did to get to where we are? So let's go back to May, June, 1996. That's when I graduated, high school. And then in August, I went to South Carolina State University. So between the valedictorian, salutatorian, and the third speaker giving, their amazing speeches, I was sitting there, listening to what they were saying and hearing, all of the wonderful quotes that our valedictorian gave and all the things that she did to make sure that she had good grades and she stayed the course, and she became valedictorian, and now, she went to Cornell, and she's a corporate attorney doing some amazing things. And then the next speaker just kind of talked, on the similar, lines. But the third speaker was the one who talked about the staying power, friendships, the choices we make, the things that we do now, the impact that it's going to have, years from now, he was calling different people out and talking about, their strengths and the names that he was giving people. Because one that I remember, I don't know why I was so tickled about it. He kept saying Yarvis the bear, and Yarvis was a pretty, big guy, for a high school student. But when he said it, I was just so tickled because I was like, I never would have thought of him as being like a bear because he's such a nice guy and smart and all that good stuff. But anyway, he wasn't saying that because, he was just going to attack you or anything like that. But the strength of a bear, the tenacity of a bear. And now, if you knew, Yarvis, you would know that he used that strength to get to where he is, in life, the job, that he has, the family that he has, everything. And because I didn't ask, for his permission to say all these things or to expound on it, then you just have to kind of guess if you don't know who he is, because I won't give you any additional information. I don't want to get in trouble. But anyway, like I said, he made the right, types of choices. Now I don't know what his thought process was to get to where he is now, but I'll let you in on mine. So as a teenager, one of the things that I was thinking about was, when I get out of school, I want to make some money. I didn't think about what I loved. I didn't think about what I enjoyed doing. I didn't think about what anybody else needed or anything like that. It was like, I want to make some money and I want to do it as soon as I graduate. After 4 years are over, I don't want a master's. I don't want to go to medical school because I can't stand it's like a blood. I don't want to, become a lawyer because that's additional time in school. I want to get out. I want to make some money. Now, that was not the right process, not the right thought process. So, this is why I say that, because, God tends to bring things to you full circle. So when I first got to South Carolina State, I was flipping through, the little booklet because in my mind, I thought I was going to school for chemical engineering. That's it. I was like, I want to be a chemical engineer. Well, smart little on me, when I was choosing schools, didn't notice that South Carolina State did not have a chemical engineering, degree path, but they had electrical engineering. So I said, oh, same thing, whatever. I didn't mean the same thing. I meant engineering because I felt like the strength that I had in math, I could do any type of engineering because everyone said that people who were good in math would make good engineers. I didn't think I would like it. I didn't know. I had no idea. I just said, let me try this. So then I went in there and I looked at the course load and I was like, well, this ain't enough because I'll be bored, with this. So I added physics to it. So after I added the physics, I noticed, I said, oh, this is gonna take me 6.5 years to get through this. I was like, no way. So I started taking 22 hours, 24 hours. I had a 4.0. I was playing tennis. I was hanging out with my friends. I was doing everything I wanted to do because it was like, this is so easy. But never once did I say, this is what I love and this is what I want to do. I instead went down to the Career Center, told them, what my major was and all that. And they started trying to send me to different, professional trainings and jobs and, career fairs, all this different stuff. I was being exposed to everything. The crazy part was, I was even going to different booths and would get over there and was like, oh, I really like that. But that ain't my major. Let me go where my major is rather than saying to myself, you would really love to do that. So why not just do that? Chasing the money, right? All right. So fast forward, I went to um different career fairs, like I said, and I got a job with NASA and the CNRT program. I did that for 3 years. And then for 2 semesters, I worked with South Carolina Electric and Gas. Well, when I did that, I realized that I didn't want to be a physicist, nor did I want to be an electrical engineer. But I was like, dang, I'm about to graduate. I've gone too far with this. What am I going to do? So apparently, God had a ram in the bush because the job that I had applied for at Savannah Riverside, I had been accepted. They were going to be paying me, a lot of money. For me back then, that was a lot of money. And I got a letter in the mail that said that because of what occurred on September 11th of 2001 that the funding that was going towards where my position would be was being taken away, and it was going to be put back where defense was. And I was like, so now I don't have a job at this point. So whatever. I was like, I ain't know if I want to do electrical engineering anyway. Let me see what else is available. So I went and I looked at, mining and minerals because I had another friend that was in school that says, hey, check this out. I've worked here. This is cool. You should try it. I did. Got the job, on the spot. And that's where I started working. But never once in my heart did I say, I want to be in mining and minerals. I love this. So if you are a teenager and you're out there listening, I advise you to sit down and think about what it is that you enjoy. What is something that people look at you and say, oh, you do that so well. And it's something that, comes naturally. It's something that, you find yourself daydreaming about it. You find yourself thinking about it. You find yourself trying to find more information and you're asking questions about it. Follow that. Now, I'm not talking about something that won't, bring you any kind of money. I'm not talking about anything illegal or any craziness. Because I'll give you an example. Like when I was in 7th or 8th grade, we had this class called Mankind, and it was for gifted students. And they taught us about the stock market. And, I was just playing around with it when I was a kid, but I was making all kinds of money on paper because I was like, I would invest in this and this and this and this and this. Never even thought anything else about it. Fast forward now, I've been putting money in the 401k. I put a little money in the stock market and stuff, but I never paid it that much attention. And then I saw this young woman, and her name is Kelly OG. And she was talking about how she started off with $26, and now she's making millions, of dollars based off the choices that she was making because she decided that she enjoyed doing this. And because she enjoyed doing this, she was going to put everything she could into doing whatever that was. But she always had this entrepreneurial spirit. She just couldn't put her finger on it. So she kept trying different things until she ran into the thing. See, like me, I was just picking something based off of money, not based off of what I liked or what I loved. And that's how you spend a lot of time away from your purpose. So another thing I would advise you to do if you're in college is go ahead and get a mentor. Get someone you can shadow, someone you can talk to about the thing that you're trying to do or what you're trying to become, because then you get to see it firsthand. And if you see it firsthand and you hate it, why in the heck would you keep going in that direction? You wouldn't, you shouldn't, don't do that, because then you'll end up years later wondering, how did I get here? Or why am I still doing this? Or hating your job. And you don't want to do that. So once you get to your sophomore, your junior year, this is when you should start doing your research on interns and co-ops and the different companies that you want to work for. And then you start interviewing and you start landing those jobs, because what's the point of going to school for 4 years in a row but not getting any experience in between? Because by the time you graduate, you're going to run into other students who've had the time to do these interns and co-ops, and the companies like them, and they're going to hire them right away. It's like, should I take a chance on her? All she did was study. All she did was make good grades. You have to have some type of leverage or something that makes you stand out compared to the people that you're going against in this pool. So make sure that your resume is growing as you're going to college. Now, don't be one of these like one-dimensional, type people where you just have good grades. You want to have good grades, you want to have some work experience, and then you want to be well-rounded in the sense as what, clubs are you in? What leadership positions did you hold on campus? How did you make a difference when you were there? Or did you just go to school, eat lunch, and go to parties, right? You don't want to be that person. You want them to look at a resume and see that you're everything that they're looking for. Because a lot of companies, when they look at people, they're looking to see if you can fit, not necessarily that you had the best grades, right? you have to come into their culture. Now, if you're one of these people who, graduated high school and you say, I don't want to go to college, I want to be an entrepreneur. All right. When you did that, did you pick something that you loved, or did you pick something that you thought you could do, or you knew somebody who did it and you said, I want to try it too? So with entrepreneurship, I'm finding that if you don't love it, you are not going to stick to it. I don't care what it is. Let me give you an example. So let's say, let's look at LoveBiome, right? Let's just say I'm out here and I'm talking to folks every day, telling them about LoveBiome, and I hate the product. I'm not gonna sell anything if I hate it, not for real. I'll probably sell a few here and there, but it has to be something that you truly believe in, that you really, really want to drive in order for you to be a successful entrepreneur. It can't be something that you want to do, half-heartedly. And then, in order to make money, you got to throw some money at it. So where are you getting your startup money from? What are you doing exactly? So let me give you an example of something that you can do. And I was like, where was this when I was in high school? Because I've been an entrepreneur just like that, but it wasn't there. So let me give you an example. There is a website that is called kickstarter.com. That's kick, as in like somebody kick them, starters.com. Kickstarter.com. All right. So what you do is there's different categories that you can choose. Like say, for instance, if you pick publishing, say you want to write a book and you want to self-publish, but you don't have, the cash to do it. You would make a video explaining like what your book is about. And you even have people act out a part or a portion, of your book. And you put this video on there and you tell people like what you would need to self-publish. Like say for instance, you put on there $10,000, right? Well, then people who have absorbent amounts of money that just want to give, that want to help people to grow and realize their dreams, they go on Kickstarter. They watch some of these videos. They're like, oh, I really like that. I'm gonna donate $1,000. I'm gonna donate $8,000. And sometimes you go back on there, you might have asked for 10,000, but because your story was so compelling, they might give you $150,000. They might give you so much that Kickstarter has to cut it off, because the way it works is you ask for a certain amount in a certain amount of days. So it just keeps collecting until your days are up. So if you get $1 million in 10 days and you only ask for 10,000, like you weren't asking for enough. Or there's something else that is great inside of you that God is funding. So you have to step out on faith and do that particular thing. Now, if you're not great with making videos and stuff like that, there's other ways that you can get money, for your business. You can go to the SBA. SBA, has different grants and stuff that they can introduce you to and talk to you about concerning your business. And then if you can't get a grant, then sometimes there are these SBA loans. And some of the loans you don't have to pay back. Some of them you do. Because there was one time there was a thing called PPP where people were making up, like businesses and stuff to get this money, and they probably gonna go to jail and all that. So don't do anything like that. Make sure that everything that you do is honest, is legal, and is ethical. Make sure those things are, paramount. Don't skip past that. You do, then there's, some other things that can happen. You can go to jail. You can lose everything that you built. You don't want to go through that. You want to make sure that you do it and you do it right, do it well. So make sure if you're setting up a business, get with the Small Business Administration. That's SBA.gov. There's one in every area that you can reach out to, explain your business to, and they help you to build your business plan. They help you to set up your LLC. They help you to do everything that you need in order to be successful. But the thing is, to be an entrepreneur, you have to drive everything. So sometimes you're going to have to learn how to be the bookkeeper. You're going to have to be the administrative assistant. You're going to have to be the CEO. You're going to have to be the skilled person. You have to do it all. So then once your business gets off the ground and you start hiring people, you know everything. So you're able to train them to do the things, properly, and make sure you document it. That way, if that person decides to leave, the next person comes in, you could train them with the next set of documents. So it's so many things, that you could do. All right. So what if you didn't want to be an entrepreneur? And what if you didn't want to go to college? There's always, the Army, the Navy, the Marines, the military. You can go anywhere, choose anything. So if you decide to go that path, make sure that you find a branch that suits you and your personality and your goals the best. Because some people say, oh, I just joined the military, but it was like, wait, did you join to become a nurse? Did you join to become, just a infantry person? What did you do? What was the goal? So have something in sight and in mind about what you want to be once it's all, said and done. Because I know a lot of people that have retired from the military and they are doing well. I'm talking about very well. Every time you turn around, they're traveling, they're doing great things. They have these humongous homes, they have lots of money, they're taking care of all of this stuff. It's because they had a plan when they went in, or while they were in, they ran into someone that said, you need to get a plan, and they listened. So don't just go blindly into the military hoping that this is going to be what matures you. This is what is going to set you on fire. Let's just say you didn't want to go to college. You didn't want to be an entrepreneur, and you didn't want to go to the military. So what's left? So there's only a couple of other things that are left. I mean, you just find a job. You just go to work. Now, a lot of people saying, well, if you go to work, you ain't never gonna make more than minimum wage. That's not true. If you go to a job and you find out from, whomever you're working for, you say, I want this job because I want to learn it from the bottom up. So when positions in management open, that I have the skills necessary to step into those positions. Now, is it harder? Yes. Because now it's so many companies that want people with degrees that they forget that the people who work on the shop floor are the ones who know their business the best. And they're the ones who see the issues, the ins and outs, every day that can be corrected to make the business move smoother. But because they want someone who is educated or degreed, they look over these people. So that's some of the hurt that you may have to deal with just because you decided to go straight, into the workforce. But then there are some people that go straight into the workforce and they do just fine because they learn a skill, they learn a trade, and then they say, the heck with this, I'm going to open my own business and do this exact same thing. So you can go the entrepreneur route, even if you didn't have a skill or anything, but you learned one or you acquired one after, you've worked for someone else. There's so many ways to do so many different things that while you're young, this is the time that you should actually try it. Like, imagine, you could be a model, you could be an actor, actress, singer, entertainer, professional athlete. You can do all of these different things, in your youth, right? Because, hey, you play professional football for 4 or 5 years and say, you just get tired of being banged up and beat up, and you take all that money that you've made and you've invested in and you've done all these different things, you may not ever have to work for anyone ever again. But you have to have a plan if you want to do certain things. So if you're young and you get a modeling, contract, make sure that you invest this money. Don't just, oh, I want to buy a Corvette. Oh, I want a Lambo. Oh, I want all these flashy things. It's nice to want those things, but you should make sure that you have something, in store in the background. So when I think about all the things that I just said to you, if someone had said those things to me when I was 18 years old, it would be quite different, I think. But I believe that, God lets us walk a certain path so that we can look back and tell others to go in another direction. Don't follow the path I follow because it's got, holes over here, it's pitfalls, it's all these different things going on because my focus was not in the right place. And my focus was on getting out and making some money. My focus was not on what was I good at? What did I enjoy? What did I love? How could I help people? How could I do this? How could I do that? But now that that has become my focus, a lot of people see me and they're like, oh, you just look so happy. Your skin is so clear. Your hair is shining. And it's like, well, what the heck did I look like before that? I looked like some deranged nut or something. And I was making, good money. I mean, what what's going on here? Like, I thought I looked all right, but maybe I didn't. Whatever. But what I'm saying is, while you're young, enjoy your life. Enjoy your life. Enjoy your youth. But focus. Pick something and try it. If it doesn't work, try something else. Don't just give up. And don't sit there and say, well, I don't know what I want to do. Try something. Because even they say, even if you have a focused fool, eventually they're going to get to something because they focused on it. Because you can have an intelligent person that's going all over the place, but they're never going to get to anything because they're not consistent, right? They don't little bits of this and little bits of that, but never anything concrete. So focus, be consistent, make sure that you journal. And it's always interesting to look at what you wrote and then go back in time, years later and open an old journal and read it. It's like, wow, this is what I told myself to do. And then if you did it, you see the fruits of it. But then if you did, it's like, dang, you still got time because you're alive and you're reading it. Don't get down on yourself because there's a reason why you did or you didn't do it, at that moment, because you are exactly where you want to be. Now, a lot of people might argue with me. You are where you want to be because wherever you are, it's where your efforts led you to. This stuff didn't just fall on you. It didn't just happen this way. You made some choices. So today's choices will reflect your future. So all of my teenagers, all my college students, all of my young adults, please take heed to this message. And if you would like to share your story, I would love to hear it, especially some of y'all just graduating high school. Like, what are some of the things that you're thinking about doing? Or some of you that's in college and you're about to graduate and you're about to take that step, into true adulthood where you're going to start getting bills, those things that never stop coming once they start. Yeah. I want to hear your stories and I want to hear your reflections. But that's the episode 97, Today's Choices. So thank you all so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to watch this episode of Embracing the Fight. And as always, I want you to have an absolutely amazing day.